To be relevant in today's business culture, if you're not continuously learning, you're actually rapidly falling behind. Society's just moving too fast. Like technology is just moving too fast.
What does it take to stand out online? What steps do you need to take personally to be at your best in the content you're creating, the communities that you're stewarding, and the courses and products that you are creating? I'm excited because in today's episode, we're jumping into part 2 of the At Your Best series. This is pulling back the curtain about what we're doing here at Think Media as a team focused on a mission to be at our best for you this year. My name is Heather Torres, and I'm the host of the Think Media podcast, the #1 podcast to help you grow your influence on YouTube and then turn that influence into a high impact and a high income online business. And in today's episode, like I said, we are peeling back the curtain. We're bringing you on the inside of our most recent leadership retreat. It sounds crazy to think that we're at a level now at Think Media where we're flying people in to Las Vegas to gather so that we can be all on the same foot as we head into the new year. We are now in that new year, and we wanted to share with you a session from that leadership retreat. We shared the first part of that last week, and we're diving into part 2. And then later on this year, we will deliver 3 and 4 to you. But in this episode, we're going to be diving into a new commitment. Last week, we went over the commitment to wellness because we want to be at our best as we go into this year. And this week, we're heading into the commitment to excellence. Here at Think Media, we want to be at the top of our game for all of the things that we are doing, from the content we're creating, to the courses we're putting out, to the conferences that we are hosting. So being committed to excellence is one of the things we are focused on this year. Let's dive into today's featured content, and we'll discuss it afterwards.
But the second area that we are committed to being at our best in 2022 is a commitment to excellence. A commitment to excellence. We have a commitment to wellness and a commitment to excellence. I really believe that excellence is actually the overflow of wellness, that it's the overflow of actually wellness. So what would it look like for you to be at your best in the specific skill sets of your role in 2022? You know, we're going to have some discussion time after this again, and so that'll be a question to be pondering is what would it look like in your specific role? Maybe even as you're journaling, what are the skill sets? There's the broad skill set, but what are the nuanced skill sets inside of that that you would want to improve in? I might say public speaking, but then I could probably break public speaking into 10 or 20 even nuanced skill sets that I actually want to get better at storytelling. I want to get better at breath control. I want to get better at tonation, where sometimes we shout and speak loud and bold, and sometimes we bring people close with a whisper. We pause. We lower our voice. So what are some skill sets that you would want to level up in this year? To being at our best, there's really two levels of excellence to think about. Level 1, excellence, and I learned this from Omar El Takori, is that excellence is doing the best you can with what you have. Excellence is this is the first level, doing the best you can with what you have. See, excellence I think could be a scary word because it goes back into comparison. It goes back into like, shoot, oh no, like I'm not as good as the other person. No, excellence is doing the best you can with what you have. In fact, perfection is not even attainable. Perfection is, a lot of times the reason perfectionism is toxic because perfection is an unreachable target. Even Vince Lombardi said this, perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence. Just this pursuit of being better, that moves us towards excellence. Perfection is out of reach, but excellence is just doing the best we have. It's chasing that level up. You know, it's not about our resources, it's about our resourcefulness. It's about just doing the best we have with what we have today, right? In our current circumstance. And this makes me think about just the Think Media story. I mean, again, if you would have compared Sean's early videos with the videos that Nolan and Omar are publishing today, you would have crushed young Sean.
Right.
It's freaking crazy. If you would have compared Omar's videos in 2022, if you go back just a year, it's actually like, dude, what was happening? Like but it's not perfectionism. It's the pursuit of excellence. It's chasing after that level up. And I think we already embody this, but more so in 2022, we're asking, how can we be at our best to continue to level up? Because that has been the story of Think Media. We have not had resources in every season. Right. We've had to be faithful with what we have. We now have 18 people, and think about, we're living in the answer to other people's prayers, so we have to be humble and grateful. But at the same time, we're also like, shoot, we're still missing, or there's still areas that we could grow in. And so the content has evolved at Think Media, and also haven't our systems evolved. But do our systems still need work?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's that excellence is not just in graphic design, or it's not just in our web pages, right? It's even in excellence in terms of how we communicate with each other, our internal systems, which is doing the best with what we have today. At one point, we didn't have Monday boards at all. At one point, we didn't have Monday, right? But we want to continue to level up. But level 2, because there's a second level of excellence, and excellence level 2 is the relentless pursuit of mastery. At our best starts with being at our best and with our personal record. At our best starts with doing the best with what we have. But make no mistake, we are in business. And no one in business is going to be staying up at night just thinking like, oh, I don't want to hurt Think Media's feelings. They don't care about our feelings. Our competitors, right, are not thinking, staying up at night and just thinking like, oh, I want to play soft. There's something about, if we're going to stay on the cutting edge, right, we have to have a relentless pursuit of mastery. When a new industry starts, it's about who's first. But when it matures, it's about who's best. Yeah. Thus, our insurance is, again, not the fear of comparison, but it is the absolute disdain for complacency, which is sustained by the pursuit of mastery. And you know, we see this in Scripture. Proverbs 22:29 says, do you see someone skilled in their work? They will serve before kings. They will not serve before officials of low rank. Friends, I think that's what we're experiencing. I want to encourage you and acknowledge you. And as we're at this all-team retreat, I want to celebrate that we have had the privilege of serving before kings. 50 million views across our channels in the last 365 days. Our content and our work is being promoted because it is excellent, but the challenge of being at our best is a challenge to not ever settle. Is to actually say that the pursuit of mastery is a lifelong pursuit. And if we remain skilled in our work and leveling up our skills, we will have the opportunity to serve before kings, not before officials of low rank. In Daniel 6:3, Daniel found himself in Babylon at the time, which was kind of, I think, the ruling power and the influential power. And it says this, it says that Daniel became distinguished above all other presidents and satraps because of an excellent spirit that was in him. And the king planned to set him over the whole kingdom. Friends, if we embody an excellent spirit, our future is bright. And I believe that, I know that we've accomplished some incredible things at Think Media, but I honestly think the best is yet to come. We are just getting started. We've only scratched the surface, but the next level is unlocked on the other side of an excellent spirit. An excellent spirit is that culture that just says, you know, it is about competing with the person in the mirror and the company we were yesterday, but I'm going to do the best with what I have, and I'm also going to have a relentless pursuit of mastery. So excellence is a lifelong pursuit of mastery, not settling or resting on yesterday's success. And this kind of reminds me of Kodak cameras. Anyone ever have a Kodak camera? Anybody here remember who here, you had film rolls, you took film rolls to Costco, right, to Walmart, to Kmart, to Walgreens, dropped off the film roll, 60 minutes, come back, pick up your roll of film.
They had photo stores.
Photo stores. Photomax, right? And so when I think about not settling or not getting complacent, it actually reminds me of Kodak. So Kodak was a technology company that dominated, keyword here, dominated the photography film market for most of the 20th century. But the company blew its chance to lead the digital photography revolution as they were in denial for too long. Steve Saison, the Kodak engineer, actually invented the first digital camera in 1975. They were actually the first to market with their idea, with their creativity. But here's the quote, but it was filmless photography. So the management's reaction was, that's cute, but don't tell anyone about it, says Saison. And the leaders at Kodak failed to see digital photography as a disruptive technology. A former vice president of Kodak, Don Strickland, says, we developed the world's first consumer digital camera, but we could not get approval to launch or sell it because of fear of the effects on the film market. The management was so focused on the film's success that they missed the digital revolution after starting it. Kodak filed for bankruptcy in 2012, and the Kodak failure surprised many. When we talk about excellence, it makes me think of this idea that resting on yesterday's successes can cause us to fall short of tomorrow's demands. One of the biggest vulnerabilities for a team like us celebrating this year is we're playing the song "All We Do Is Win." We're putting sticky notes up here on King Flip, and it's true. And we've had a great year, but that's our biggest vulnerability: is settling and getting comfortable, and actually not continuing a pursuit of excellence. Because, friend, hear me. I can say this about every single person in this room and everybody watching online on Zoom is that you're walking in excellence. I want to acknowledge you in that. But this is preaching to the choir. But we have to be committed as the choir to keep working on our vocal cords.
Yeah.
Had to roll with the analogy. Okay, so how do I commit to excellence? How do I commit to excellence as we land the plane halfway through? So how do I commit to excellence? Two steps. The first one is a commitment to a beginner and student mindset. A beginner and student mindset. Now, I learned this term called Shoshin. It's actually a term from Zen Buddhism. It's called Shoshin. And here's the definition. It's having an attitude of openness, eagerness, and lack of preconceptions when studying a subject, even when studying at an advanced level, just as a beginner in that subject would. Shoshin. It's an attitude of having openness, eagerness, and a lack of preconceptions when studying a subject and when studying even at an advanced level, just as a beginner in that subject would. Let me ask you, in light of all of Think Media's success, in light of your personal role success, in light of your skill level, are you still just as hungry as you were at the beginning? Are you still as voracious to learn as you were at the beginning? This is such a powerful concept. To actually continue to pursue mastery, we can't give up the beginner and student mindset. And I've watched, we talked in the first session all about wellness. I've watched businesses get sidelined or individuals get sidelined and fail, I believe also because they give up this pursuit. They settle in their success. And I've seen peers do it. I've seen friends do it. I've seen different people that they read a lot of books early on. They studied a lot early on. They wanted to be at the conference early on because they were desperate. They needed money. They needed growth. They were trying to break through. Once they broke through, though, I don't know if I need to take notes anymore. Once they broke through, it's like, I know this. Probably one of the most dangerous statements we could ever say is, I already know that.
Right.
Oh, I know that. Oh, I've heard that already.
Yeah.
Or I've heard that before. Omar and I just went to a business thing this week, just some random thing that I saw, and I was like, hey, it's in Vegas, why not go? And there's panels of people and legit business people that I wanted to learn from. And I took a couple pages of notes, and I don't think I wrote down one thing that I actually hadn't heard before. But I'll tell you this, almost everything I haven't mastered.
Right.
So I'm not too good to write down the notes, and I'm like, this is good. It's good to be reminded about this. It's good to think about this again. And I had a whole pad of notes when I could have had an attitude of, I already know this. Or why don't they have me up there speaking? Or why don't I, why am I even here? And so when I think about Shoshin, I think about staying humble, staying teachable, and staying hungry to learn and grow. Secondly, a commitment, how do I commit to excellence? Is a commitment to continuous learning. Continuous learning. Not learning sometimes, not learning part of in a certain season, but actually continuous learning. Many futurists and nowists, if there's such a word, is actually saying that to be relevant in today's business culture, if you're not continuously learning, you're actually rapidly falling behind. Society's just moving too fast. Like technology is just moving too fast. And so I have a question. Has learning actually been lost by most in today's culture? Absolutely. The idea of continuous learning. Yeah, Andy says absolutely. Listen to these stats. 33% of high school graduates never read another book for the rest of their lives. 3 out of 10. 42% of college graduates never read another book for the rest of their lives. 80% of US families did not buy a book or read a book last year. 70% of US adults have not been in a bookstore in the last 5 years. I bet it's like 100% because the bookstores were closed.
Dirty data. Where did they get on their deathbed? Did you read a book?
57% of new books are not read to completion, and I'll admit I'm guilty of that stat as well, though. I completed more books than ever before this year. And of course, you know, I actually believe that modern learning is not, it doesn't have to be books, but modern learning is podcasts. Modern learning is courses. Modern learning is workshops. Modern learning is audiobooks. Modern learning could be certain types of YouTube videos. Maybe not, slime and dance YouTube shorts, but longer form, rich educational content. And you know what's crazy is Brian Tracy said this. He said, if you read only one book per month, that'd be 12 books a year. That will put you in the top 1% of income earners in our society. Sean, will that put me in the top 1% of top earners at Think Media? It will. If you read a book, that'd be 12 books next year. What would happen if you read 12 books in 2022? On the specific skill set you're trying to grow in. Right. How lethal would you become? Friend, there's no lid for you at this company. Right. And if you say, listen, I learned this, I implemented this, and here's how it affected revenue, I would like some more money, humbly asking, hopefully. They would say, why wouldn't I? You just correlated this to generating this much more income? Let's figure out how that correlates to how you're being compensated. Of course, because we want you to win in this company. But for you personally, and for anybody listening to this, I think we're going to put this on our podcast, right? Like if you read one book per month, that'll put you in the top 1% of income earners in our society. But watch this. But if you read one book per week, 50 books a year, because you got 2 weeks of vacation, that will make you one of the best educated, smartest, and most capable and highest paid people in your field. Regular reading will transform your life completely. And so again, that could be taking a course. It could be committing. And I would say there's probably a distinction. It may not just be listening to a podcast, although probably the Think Media podcast, because it really goes deep and it's really rich. But sometimes podcasts are conversational and entertaining. There's something about investing in an online course with modules, with videos, with a syllabus that actually takes you from not knowing a skill to learning a skill. That would be the idea here. And so what's crazy though is statistics show a clear relationship between the average salary and the number of books someone reads. When they hear that quote, the more you learn, the more you earn, it actually is true, and statistics show that. And recently, we got to practice what we preach, because here's what we're asking our students to do. We are asking our students, we're asking our community members, hey, buy Video Ranking Academy. Hey, buy the YouTube Made Simple course. Hey, buy the book, YouTube Made Simple. Buy YouTube Secrets. And if we're player coaches, then that means we got to be living that same lifestyle. Yeah. That's why I recently just spent over $3,000 in the last couple of weeks on educational materials. I bought an $1,000 advanced business strategy course from Patrick Bet-David. And by the way, you have access to, of course, our learning library and things like that being at Think, but an advanced business strategy course. Heather and I are going to go through a business plan workshop that starts on the East Coast at 8 a.m. So we have to get up at 5 a.m. So we'll probably have to get up at 4 a.m. She'll get up at 3 a.m. because she's got an hour drive. And we're going to take a 12-hour day, because this guy is no joke, to take notes the whole day, to learn the whole day. I know that's our lifestyle, but that was another $1,000. I just bought a Harmon Brothers script writing course. That was another $850 when I bought the upsell as well. And then I just bought a course on marketing and selling and positional on a Black Friday special, kind of like ours, for $300. We got to be player coaches. And so what does it look like to be at our best in 2022? It looks like a commitment to excellence. And the 2 levels is a beginner mindset, which means we're humble enough to learn, humble enough to prioritize learning and invest in our learning, and then committed to continuous learning by also not just purchasing the book. I've fallen into that trap, but actually reading the book and actually following through and finishing the book, or at least reading the 40% that actually matter, because the rest is fluff. And sometimes that's true. And I don't even think that's bad. Great, you got the concept. If I get one idea out of a book for $15 and I just read the first chapter, that's worth it. Yeah. If I just get the one thing out of it, $15, are you kidding me? All right, and so as we land the plane at Think Media, we are committed to building a personal and team culture of excellence. Not perfection, but excellence. Doing the best with what we have and pursuing lifelong mastery of our craft. It reminds me of what Babe Ruth said. Yesterday's home runs don't win today's games. Yeah. 2022, it's a new year, new challenges, new videos to make, new ads to run, new thumbnails to design. I can't even imagine there's more creativity on thumbnails, but I keep being blown out of the water. And I think a beginner's mindset, whenever we take a break, we refresh, we commit to wellness, we get refreshed, we start realizing, wow, there's actually so much vast opportunity. There's so much more to say, there's so much more to teach. And we can be refreshed for excellence, refusing to settle and continuing to grow as we commit to excellence.
Wow. I mean, commitment to excellence really makes us level up ourselves as we head into this year. Pairing that with the commitment to wellness and now the commitment to excellence, we want to be at our best in everything that we are doing. And I want to encourage you to be at your best this year as well. What do you need to commit to? Where do you need to bring excellence? What do you need to learn so that you can grow in the areas that are going to level you up? I want to encourage you that if you know that you want to grow your online business using the power of video, that this year you need to be at Grow with Video Live. If you've never heard of this before, this is our 5th conference that we've hosted here at Think Media. And this is our annual gathering. This is our annual conference, bringing all of the best people in the industry to help you grow your online business. This year, one of our featured speakers is Gary Vaynerchuk, and he's going to be giving a keynote during this conference. Now, you can pick up your general admission or a VIP ticket right now at growwithvideolive.com. And if you've never been to a conference before, I cannot wait to see you in person. I know it can be scary to step out of your comfort zone, to go to a new city, to be in a room with people you don't know. But can I tell you that my life was changed by being in the room? I was one of those people, and still am sometimes, when I get scared to be at these things, but pushing outside of my comfort zone and stepping out and going after the things that I know are scary, like going to a conference, those are the life-changing moments. The friendships I've gained, the people I've networked with, and the knowledge I have gained from these types of speakers, this is what could be the thing that changes your year. So I want to encourage you to go to growwithvideolive.com right now and grab your ticket and bring a friend. Make this an adventure. And I'll see you in person in May in Las Vegas for Grow with Video Live. Now, I want to thank all of our Think Media community. We are growing so fast. I cannot believe how many people now are listening and subscribing. Like, when I actually think about it, it kind of gives me some fear and anxiety when I think that tens of thousands of people are listening to this podcast. But I'm pushing past the fear and I'm saying thank you, because we are on a mission to help 10,000 purpose-driven people create a full-time living doing what they love through the power of video and making an impact in the world. So I'm so excited about all of our new subscribers here on the podcast. Now, if you are listening over on Apple or Spotify, I want you to hit that subscribe button right now so that you get notified every time a new episode is ready for you to download. And if you're over on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button so that you can also see all of the content that we have on the channel. Now, our channel is slightly different than the actual audio podcast because we're putting up more and more content on the YouTube channel. Things like the YouTube Made Simple show that I host every other week, the Coffee with Cannell show where we bring on people and answer your questions live, and things like partnering with vidIQ and Thinkific where we can do channel reviews and help you grow things like your online courses and so much more. So make sure you're subscribed over on YouTube and maybe you'll be featured on a future episode. Today, I want to shout out one of our listeners that put a comment on the what do you do when you have an unsupportive family member episode that was up on the podcast. This is from Michelle. Michelle says, so good. One thing I've learned is that no one else can make me feel good about myself. I have to take care of my esteem and motivation on my own. Well, Michelle, I want you to know that we are here cheerleading you on also. Don't think that you're in this game alone. We are here as a team committed to your learning, to your growth, and committed to your success as well. So thank you for being a part of our community, Michelle, and leaving that comment. And I hope, Michelle, that I get to see you in person in May at Grow with Video Live. Well, thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing here at Think Media. We have so many exciting episodes coming up in the next few weeks and months as we lead into such a great year. But I want to bring you back to, what is your next action step? What do you need to do next to commit yourself to excellence? I think it's so important that we rally around the theme of at your best. And I can't wait to see what you do this year on YouTube. Thank you so much for watching or listening, and I'll catch you in a future episode.